Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Julia.
And this is the Bad Bitch Podcast.
Welcome back, my lovelies. We've got a great topic today about touching the dream.
Yes, I can't wait.
Very excited to talk about that.
Very excited. But we also need to start with this week's sponsor. Now, I want to talk about the weather today because spring has sprung.
Spring is serving.
And we are all very happy about it. And this part of Kent in the Weald comes into its own when the weather's good because we are kind of wall-to-wall vineyards and farms and fields, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So if you are tempted to move to this gorgeous part of the world, we recommend our sponsors, ELJ Property Search, run by Emma Lloyd-Jones. And Emma provides this truly bespoke property search service. So she's going to take your brief for the dream home that you want to have in this area, and she's going to go and find it for you, including finding properties that won't be listed anywhere, that you won't get access to any other way. She can help you find your dream home in this area. And a lot of her clients are busy people who work up in London. They just simply don't have time. I remember shopping for this house, how much time it took up just looking through listings, talking to agents, going to see properties that actually were completely not fitting my brief at all. Mm-hmm. We all know the pictures completely mislead you.
100%.
You know, something looks like a grand room and it's basically a cupboard.
Yeah, exactly.
So you are always going to take the hassle out of that and do it for you. And also, Emma's also just super lovely. So highly recommended, eljpropertysearch.com.
Mate, I am just like so impressed with that segue I could cry because I did. You were talking about the weather and how lovely it is in Kent, and then you just went in. That was really impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I really, really was, because I was like, okay, we're going to talk about the weather. This is cool. No, and then you just went.
You know what? Because I actually do want to talk about the weather briefly on my kind of what's been going on this week. Because
another great segue. Continue.
It's just segue-tastic right here. Because I've been talking to my clients about the weather. It's so British, but you end up starting calls about the weather. But actually, everyone keeps saying how much better they feel.
100%.
And obviously we know that seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. And I think a lot of people experience it, but don't really label it as such. So the first thing I want to say is, if you suddenly find, because the sun's come out, you are feeling way better, that's wonderful. But that's also a sign, just to take note, that you may experience seasonal affective disorder. Put a note in your diary for next October to look into and do all the things that help you avoid it. Yes. And I think when we get there, you and I should do an episode on it.
Yeah,
it's things like getting sunlight, getting a light box, having a light alarm clock, taking tryptophan, which boosts your serotonin, having exercise.
Consult a doctor, people.
Consult a doctor or a nutritional therapist. Yes. But I think we should do a whole episode when we get there. So first of all, if you've noticed a big improvement, hurrah, but actually that's useful information about, do you need to rethink your lifestyle over winter? But the other thing I want to talk about is you can have spring-induced seasonal affective disorder.
Okay.
Because seasonal affective disorder is basically your body responding to a change in the seasons. And obviously more people are impacted by the change into winter. But as the weather improves into summer, it still disrupts all our cycles. It still changes our sleep patterns, changes our food patterns and food preferences. It changes our hormonal balance. So it's still a change. And some people can actually be really thrown off by moving into spring, summer. So just also be aware that whilst it's wonderful having all this new energy, also take care of yourself and think about, now we've moved into a different season, do I need to change any of my patterns? Because we treat ourselves like robots. We just follow the same routine every day, what the weather is.
Yes.
Actually, you might need to think about sleeping in a different way. Or sometimes people actually need a nap when it's summer, or it's better not to work when it's too hot, changing your exercise. Some people, it's just that spring actually brings a rush of energy. I get it.
Me too. And
that's great. But for some people, that's experienced as anxiety.
Okay.
So there's a lot of positive energy that comes with spring that for some people can come to them as anxiety, feeling restless. So just a message to everybody, enjoy the springtime, but just be mindful that this is a transitional period and therefore you might experience some changes, and it's worth thinking about, do I need to change any of my habits right now?
I love that. That's really good. And it's really and I feel like people will feel anxious as well if they, like you just said perfectly, when they go into spring and they're not feeling like they're over the winter blues, should I say. And then people, you're surrounded by people with a spring in their step and they're like, oh, isn't it amazing? And then you're thinking, well, why do I not feel that way? Yes. Or why do I feel anxious? So and it's we as humans, when we used to live in the cave women days and the cave people days, we would live in the seasons and we would adapt with the seasons, not least go to bed when the sun went down and get up when the sun rose. So, and we just don't do that anymore. And so reviewing your routines is very important.
And I almost completely changed what I eat this time of year as well. So I
Nice.
listen to my body and what I want. And you just reminded me of another really important point. It can even be socially. You know, I'm super extroverted and I love the summer because it becomes a more sociable time.
Yes.
But some people who are highly introverted really like winter.
Yes.
Because it is this kind of hibernation.
Yes.
So you might have people in your life, you might be really excited about doing a million social things and you invite them to a million things to be nice, and they might be struggling with that because actually they need to pace themselves. So they might find the summertime more challenging.
Yes.
So it's just always understanding what's right for you, being mindful and taking care of yourself.
I love that. That's really good.
So that's what I've been talking about this week.
That's
what have
amazing.
you been doing?
Well, my little bit of what I'd like to share is I went to see Ella Eyre.
Oh, fantastic.
And Ella Eyre, she was in this amazing small venue called Union Chapel in Islington. If you haven't, and they have amazing people there. They had Keith Sutherland there, which
is he an actor?
He's an actor. He's known mainly as Jack Bauer. Oh my gosh, we're segueing.
Oh,
like
24.
24.
Oh no, okay, I know who he is.
I went to see. So yes, he was there. Jade joked that he was doing 24 the musical, which clearly he wasn't. He's actually really good at, like, he does like a country style kind of music.
That's where I've seen him.
Yes,
because I'm a country music fan, so I've seen him play at a country music festival.
Amazing. I love it.
Right.
So and he was at Union Chapel. I didn't get to see him, but I went to see Ella Eyre, and it's just a small, beautiful venue. It is at the chapel, funnily enough. And it was just the way because she's so she's got such a powerful voice. Hearing her vocally in that space was brilliant.
Yes.
But also the way she connected with the audience was really good. And she shared a lot of vulnerable moments about how the journey she's been on, because she's always had that amazing, really strong, powerful voice, but she actually had vocal surgery back in 2020.
Wow.
I can't even imagine, like, if that is your thing, that you have to go through how terrifying that is to have vocal surgery and then know that you don't know if it's worked. She couldn't speak for a month.
Wow.
After it, and she had to do rehab for 6 months after that. Can you even not imagine not speaking for a whole month?
That's insane. I actually once had to do 4 days because I had really bad tonsillitis and it was ahead of a speaking gig.
Oh my gosh.
So I went full Mariah Carey, you know, like the little notepad.
Yeah.
Just telling people. And I actually, at one point, I typed and got my phone to speak what I was saying.
Oh, I love that.
And that was hard work for 4 days.
I know.
She did a whole month of that.
Month. And then and it was like, she said it was a real test of my resilience as a person.
Wow. And it's not just a job. That's such a form of your expression.
100%. Because you think it's like, yes, you will have the writing process, and the recording process requires you to sing. And typically, I think singers, she said, when, like, as part of her process is she'll just sing out loud, and then she'll, like, voice note herself that becomes a melody and a tone that she then sets it to. So if your process is, like, so integrated and you've been able to communicate and sing, and that is the first part, I can't even imagine how hard it is to just go through that. But her voice, everything went well. Her voice is still amazingly powerful. She brought out a lovely artist to support her called Poppy Adula. And she did an amazing acoustic set, and the crowd were brilliant, and it was just a really beautiful evening in London in the spring as well. So that's what I've been doing.
I love that, and there's so much in that. Obviously, the singers themselves is fantastic, and they're sharing their stories. But there's something about listening to music and sharing stories about it that I think is deeply emotional and deeply important.
Yes,
and it's a really nice way to actually get to know somebody. Is either to share a musical experience like that with them, or to share your music with them.
Yes.
And I'm reminded because Stella Carney, who I know, who's the absolute bad bitch CEO of Shakespeare's Globe. Hi,
yes.
Stella. Stella was on Dalston Radio recently, and they did this podcast with her where she shared the music of her life, which was all, like, incredible music that I'd never heard, but it was fantastic. But she told the story behind each track.
Yes.
And it was the most incredible way to get to know her.
Yes.
And it just really made me think about, maybe with the people in our lives, one of the nice things we could do, like I do sometimes send my friend tracks, just send them anyway.
Yes.
But actually asking someone, what's an important piece of music to you? Why is it important?
Yes.
Like, what does that have meaning to you? Or what's the memory? could be one of the most incredible ways to get to know people in your life who you think you know, because we never fully know everyone we're around, but maybe
So
you're around
true.
people so much. This is a really nice other way to get to know them.
Exactly. And that music is such a powerful, big part of our life. And actually that segues nicely into the pop culture.
Oh, yes.
Because we're going to talk about Coachella.
Are we? Of which I know nothing, apart from Madonna's clothes got stolen, apparently.
They did. This is great. Yeah,
I did see that on my phone. This is all I know about Coachella.
Coachella is it's one of those things that, see, obviously it's been going for quite a while now, but it started off as like quite a niche thing, and it's grown into like
just to clarify, it's one of the biggest music festivals in the world held in America.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes, it is now, and it's grown legs, and now rather
than Glastonbury, is it bigger than Glastonbury?
I feel like more people would have heard of Coachella. Sorry, Glastonbury.
Really?
Maybe.
Well, not outside the UK. In the
No,
UK,
for sure.
But outside the UK, more people have heard of Coachella.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's got a bit of like negative press in recent times, that it's just become like for influencers. But however, there have been some, and they now run it over 2 weekends. So they don't just have it as like one sort of like block of time. And interesting, there was just a couple of like really cool, nostalgic points that appeared that are relevant in pop culture that have transpired over the weekend. So first of all, you had Justin Bieber perform.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
How was he?
So on the first weekend, because he hasn't performed, and especially not like that for a long time. And he had his laptop on, it was just him and his laptop on stage. And he was literally on YouTube, like Googling and bringing up songs of him in his younger days. And he was like just singing along to a big version of like him of the YouTube video playing. So you'd have like him as a child. Well, he was a child when he basically, yeah. So he would be on YouTube on the big screen singing like Baby, what's his first like track? I know, neither do I.
Why are you asking me this, darling? Honestly.
But he's singing along like as an adult. It's a really poignant moment.
Was it? Because that could be terrible or it could be brilliant.
Because it's to see him harmonising with his younger self.
Was it beautiful?
It was really amazing. It was really, really quite like potently powerful. And then, so that's what he did on the first weekend. And then he did like a more sort of, I wouldn't say elaborate, it's still very stripped back, just him pretty much on stage singing. But on the weekend too, he brought out Bille Eilish.
Oh, wow.
And this is a really cute story because I didn't realise. So Bille Eilish is a huge Justin Bieber fan.
Okay.
To the point where there is like video of her like at 10 or 12 being like crying. She's like, I cried myself to sleep last night, because obviously this is way before she had any kind of career, and Justin Bieber was huge. She was like, I cried myself to sleep last night because Justin Bieber will never know who I am.
Wow.
And I can't imagine loving anyone the way I love Justin Bieber. It is the cutest thing. Sweet. And then obviously as her career has gone on, and she has met she knows Justin Bieber, and now she's in an interview saying, I'm at that point in my career now where I can, and I do call Justin Bieber at any time.
And it makes her day.
But he brought her on stage, and he was singing to her.
What that was like for her?
Yes.
That would be completely surreal.
Do you know what, for me as well, it just gives me really, it just gives me such an amazing feeling, and it gives me goosebumps that you can like bring your touching your dream. You
segue, right? High five! You're the segue queen today.
You can touch your dream, and it's just so amazing.
You can touch your dream, even if your dream is Justin Bieber. That sounds so inappropriate.
This is what one of my. I was laughing to myself on the way here about how we're going to call it touching the dream, and I'm like, touching a dream, like, and I just keep my feral brain keeps going, touching Michael B. Jordan. And I'm like, we need to make sure that we say, the touching the dream, it's like if it involves
no inappropriate touching. Yes. No inappropriate touching on this.
Ask for consent, people, if you're touching people. And it's not about touching your dream as that. Like it's about
Can I bring it back? Can I bring this back though? That's like, obviously that's incredible for Bille Eilish. Is there anyone where for you it would be like that iconic to have a conversation with, or perform, or be on a podcast or something with? Like, who's the person where that would be your Bille Eilish Bieber moment?
Oh, that's a very good question. I I mean, I would love to. I know you've already met Anna. Well, you've been
Well,
with
I didn't
Anna
meet
Wintour.
Anna. I mean, a conversation with her would have been next level.
I know who it is. I think I would die if it was Tom Ford. You know how I love Tom Ford. Yes.
So that would be...
If I could interview Tom Ford.
Right. Yeah. Let's make that happen. Let's touch that dream.
Just as I've come in with my stupid bits of pop culture and all this, and
Yes.
then Tom Ford's like, "No, you're not interviewing me."
But that's the thing, is Bille Eilish thought it would never happen.
It's
I
true.
mean, the point is, there are these things. Everything is possible.
Yeah, it's true.
Everything is. Well, I don't think I'm going to become an astronaut. You know, I think I've probably that ship has sailed. But
Well, you never know, because look at Katie. Like, look at what I know. Depending on how you. I know
you talk about the Amazon
Yes.
flu thing, which
Yeah,
is.
I know
Let's
that-
not get into that. We're not fans. I'm not a fan.
No, it's but they were
We're
in
talking
space.
about the Amazon space trip where Katy Perry got to
Exactly.
go to space and then call herself an astronaut.
Talking as well, touching the dream. You've got obviously. So you also had Sabrina Carpenter headlining as well.
Well, this is the bit I heard about because
Exactly.
Madonna lost her clothes on a golf cart, apparently.
And then people were also. I think it's actually someone stole her clothes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So weekend one, apparently everyone was like, Madonna's going to come out and jokes on you, she didn't. And then weekend two, people were like, oh, well, we've missed the opportunity. And then Madonna did come out. And it was amazing as well, because you had Justin Bieber's very sort of like throwback, like reflective, like about his journey, very stripped back set.
Yeah.
And then Sabrina Carpenter went sort of balls to the wall, had this amazing lavish set, which was also very nostalgic, but in a completely different way. And then she brings out Madonna, which is huge.
I mean, what could be more iconic?
I
than
know.
that?
But Sabrina Carpenter is like 26, which means that in reality, she would have only been born when Madonna's music track. And you know, like, do you remember? I'm not singing it. It was the song that was in Ali G, the movie.
No. What is it called?
The song's called Music.
Oh, okay.
But literally, like, so people said at the Coachella audience, like, why were people not singing along to the Madonna songs?
Because
But
they wouldn't have heard
Sabrina
them.
Carpenter fans will literally have only just come in at literally the music point of Madonna's career, which would have probably
Yes.
been early 2000s, roughly.
You're asking.
So
the wrong
yeah,
person.
they've missed her whole iconic career. That's why they weren't singing.
But then that's an
And-
interesting choice, though, that she's such an icon. They brought her out,
Yeah.
and yet that's good because that's like not a commercial decision. And then it's maybe bringing her to a whole new audience. Or some people are like, why is that old lady dancing in no clothes?
Well, because this I did hear this on another podcast. She bought out, let me get this right. So Thelma and Louise,
Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Susan Sarandon.
Right. Oh, well, they are both complete bad bitches.
Exactly. But you've got people in the audience being like, who's that old lady?
Well, that's really interesting because you're just like, from an artistic perspective,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Yeah.
What was the thought behind that? What do they think would happen? Or are they just trying to reach many different generations with the art?
I feel like as well, like obviously, so Madonna, I'm just trying to recall what song she did. She did Like a Prayer. She did Vogue, which I thought was obviously because of the that ties nicely into the Devil Wears Prada film. And then I'm not quite sure I can't recall what the other song was, but it was just, to us, I don't know whether they're looking to engage like different audiences into the Coachella. I used to really want to go to Coachella. I'm not so sure now.
Right.
If you're flying me in like by helicopter, I'm standing
and you're in the
backstage
VIP area.
and I'm going straight back
You're not
out.
going to say no.
Perfect. No, exactly. But interestingly as well, so the tickets for Coachella 2027 come out on this May. So it's not like we're launching like in January or a few weeks or months before. It's literally like as soon as the festival finishes, we're going to launch into 2027 sales. And actually, I did hear that the safari packages that are like £15,000.
Sorry, safari
I don't
packages.
know. This is what
What
they're
does this
badging
mean?
it at.
Is this
I'd
the
imagine
VVIP
it's like-
tent kind
yeah,
of situation?
so these are $12,000 to $15,000, I think, depending on the weekend, and already sold out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
wow.
it is becoming, because it's a place to be
Well,
seen.
and you think about the age of generally the people who are going to also afford those tickets.
Yeah.
That is often slightly older.
You say,
So it could be a commercial decision that they're also featuring those artists. So it's really interesting to look at whether it's the art and then the commercial side to the art. It's very interesting.
Yes. So from Sabrina Carpenter touching to Madonna and Bille Eilish hugging Justin Bieber.
There's a lot of touching.
I know. So we're going to touch
Well,
our dreams.
we know that Madonna likes to be slightly inappropriate in her shows
yeah.
anyway. Was there any inappropriate touching from Madonna?
I mean, I feel like they like, when I say, I'm going to make it sound really bad, like slid up and down.
Slid up and down.
But like it's like Madonna's like standing sort of square onto the audience, and
Right.
Sabrina Carpenter just sort of like rubs her back up, like
Oh,
up and
okay.
down.
Right.
So,
So it's quite tame, actually.
yeah,
for
exactly.
Madge.
Yes, it wasn't like Britney Spears
No.
and Christina Aguilera, because like in that performance where she kissed Britney Spears,
Yes.
she then kissed Christina Aguilera,
Mm.
but everyone misses the moment when she kissed Christina Aguilera because the camera's gone straight to Justin Bieber to see what his reaction is to.
No, not Justin Bieber. Justin
No,
Timberlake.
fucking hell, yes. And I just saw
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
What's Bieber did? It was a child. Why is
Mate, I don't
Why is
even think
Bieber
he
at this
was
concert? Was he
born.
not? Oh no.
I don't know.
Poor little Biebs.
But he
there.
was
missed
Justin
out.
Timberlake, and it's so
Right.
funny because I'm looking in my head, I can see Justin Timberlake's really stony face.
Oh, he wasn't
but I
happy
still
about
said
that.
Bieber, so I'm really pleased he cleared that one up.
Right. Well, we've cleared
Let's
up the
touch
Biebers
dreams.
and we cleared up all the Justins.
Yes.
Let's talk about today's topic.
Exactly.
You want to kick off? It's your topic today.
We talk obviously a lot with my clients about like where they are, how they feel really overwhelmed, and we're looking to find a way forward to where we want to go. And whilst we don't want to have the whole route mapped out because we can't, and that's very overwhelming for our brains, it is a really good idea to have like an endpoint of where you want to end up. There is an amazing, I know we talked about last time about being stoic people. There is an amazing stoic quote, and I will butcher it, but what they say about having like an end point being important is because if you don't have an end point, how do you know when you get there? Obvious. How do you know when you're off track? How do you know that you're enjoying it? And if you don't have an endpoint, you end up in this place called the oblivion of directionlessness.
Oh gosh,
I know.
That doesn't sound like a good place to hang out.
It's a very stoic thing,
right?
So,
But we talk about the goals, like having positive goals. They guide your decisions, and I do this all the time. I make decisions. I remind myself of my goals, and then I say, "Does this take me towards it or away from it?"
Exactly, which is perfect. So when we have the end point in mind, and that can be like it could be like how you would want to live your daily life. It might be like, I want to have like this experience, like I would be going to this hotel, or I would be having this sort of life. When we have that end point in mind, visualizing it is very powerful. But if you can do this exercise called like touching your dream, it makes it even more powerful because it makes it more real for your brain. And also you get the brain chemicals feeding in to motivate you.
So explain the concept for people listening, what that looks like in practice.
It's like playing dress up. So for example, say I would like to have it's the first example that comes to it. I want to be at the level where I want to have a gym membership for Equinox or Third Space. I would buy myself a day pass.
Right.
And I would go there and I would have the full experience. I might work in the lobby of a nice hotel. If I want to travel more, I might hire a car for the day that I wanted to have in like my future life. And it just is really, I'd eat the way, I'd go to one of the nice restaurants, even if I'm having like a dessert or a drink in the bar of the hotel, just bringing into your life, bringing that timeline so it doesn't feel so far away.
Yes.
Bringing it into today, bringing the bits that you can into your life today, because it's like that really helps you move towards that dream because your
brain sees that it's possible because you're doing it. It reminds me of reading Joe Vitale's book, The Key, which is based on The Secret, which is a very practical book about manifesting.
Love it.
And he talks about, write the list of the things you want. And often the things we want, it can be material, have a big price tag to them. That's why we don't have them. And then he's like, what's the cheapest way to experience it? So like you said, it's like rent the car, or Jim Carrey says, go and sit in the car showroom to smell the leather. That's free. Go and sit in the car and smell it.
Yes.
Go, as you said, go to the luxury hotel, go and shop somewhere very expensive.
Go and have a look. Try on the clothes.
Try on the clothes.
Yes.
Obviously, freeze your credit card and leave it at home.
Yes.
But I think it also actually applies to non-material things.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you feel like you want to be more in community,
Mm-hmm.
go to a community event, take part in a fun run that's lots of people.
Yes.
Go to a church. Go to, you were talking last time about going to a concert. Go to a concert. I used to go to speaker events with speakers where I really like what they were speaking about, but I also thought there'll be like-minded people.
Yes.
And so if you think, well, I want more friends, think about what would those friends do, what kind of activities, and then go and do those activities. So I think it doesn't just have to be material. It's just about showing your brain the scene.
Exactly that.
That you'd like more of that.
Exactly. And it can even be like on a day-to-day basis. Have a think about like your future you, and it would, if for example, it would, I don't know, say you were like, I want to have a personal chef.
Wow, I love these aspirations that are coming out right now.
This is just what my brain's like. Say you wanted to have a personal chef. It
Yes.
could be like, okay, maybe I will get a meal delivery service.
Right.
Doesn't even need to be like for the whole week. You could maybe just have like lunches 3 days a week.
Yeah, well, and it can work for health in the sense of, say you want to be healthier than you are now, you could just have a day where you behave like you're already at the health you'd want.
Yes.
So you think, well, what would I do on that day?
Yes.
I'd buy a healthy lunch. I'd go to the gym.
Yes.
Even if when you get to the gym, if you're not a gym bunny, even if you just go and do 20 minutes on the cross trainer, just act as if.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think that can be really important. And say you want to live in a certain area, just go to the area and walk around the streets and sit and have coffee there.
Exactly.
These things don't have to be expensive to do, and it's giving your brain that kind of visual feast.
Exactly. So you're getting you are getting all. When we visualize, we can. It's important that we bring in all the senses. So we can visualize our dream, and what we're looking to do in that scenario is try and incorporate like smells, obviously sight, our hearing. If we can put in some taste into our visualization, like I can imagine tasting that green juice.
Oh, you know what I just thought when you said that, tasting that glass of champagne.
Yeah, love it.
But green juice, absolutely. You go do the green juice.
And then that's great in terms of visualization. But if you can go and actually do it, that really does help. Like, it's like convincing you're playing dress up, but it's like, okay, I'm actually doing it, so this is actually possible for me.
Yes.
And it's like confirming that you can do it and you can have that life. And it can be those bigger experiences, like going to the car showroom, love that, or going and hanging out in the coffee shop in the area you want to move to. Or it can be, if you can, take a day or take a morning to like live your life as you would do in that routine.
I actually did that recently.
Did you?
I did a daycation, which I'm a real fan of.
Yeah.
So daycation is ideally you take a day off work because then it feels more special. But if you need to do it on the weekend. But you take a day off work and then you just go and do exactly what you'd like to do with exactly who you'd like to do it. And ideally you turn your phone off. So you basically pretend that you're on holiday.
Yes.
So a lot of us can work like crazy and then kind of live for the holiday, and then the holiday involves flying, which we know is stressful, lots of money, going somewhere. There's a lot of pressure on it to succeed. But actually, wherever you live, there are tourists who've come to your area and experienced it with wonder. So a daycation is basically where you just take a day off and then you act as if you're a visitor to your own area and go and do all the really fun things that the visitors do, because often we miss them.
It's true.
So I went, we live in a beautiful part of the world. I went to a vineyard, I had lunch, I was out in the sun. It was absolutely glorious. There was no rush. I came home, I felt like I'd had a week's holiday.
Yes, exactly.
So you can incorporate, that was kind of quite unplanned, but you can incorporate touching the dream with a daycation where you say, I'm going to plan a daycation, and in it, I'm going to do some of the things that are in my dream vision.
Yes.
And it's just a really wonderful experience.
Exactly.
And ideally do it with people that you love as well. So it's just all-round goodness.
And like you said about like, if you want to speak, it's like putting yourself in the right rooms and like being in the room with the people that inspire you.
Yes.
Or even like if you feel like you would be someone that would go to more like live music gigs, you don't have to, like, you can go to like one of the the local bars that will have like live music. You don't have to be blowing 300 quid going to see Bruno Mars.
No, not at all.
Or even the small, like LRA was a £20 ticket.
Was it really?
Yes,
that's fantastic.
It was crazy because I was like, yep, absolutely. And it was just, it's I can't tell you, because I'm very much like, it's very easy, especially if you're working towards something, to get caught in the day to day, and it's like you get caught in, you're doing the systems and the processes. That is very important, but you do need to just come out of that and remember why you're doing it.
Yes.
Touch that dream. And I felt so much better after having that day. Coming to your tea event as well.
Oh yes, we did an afternoon tea event. Yeah.
Yes. And then it just lifts your vibe, and it's not less necessarily that when you do the play dress up touching your dream that you're going to be like, oh yeah, I can do it, this is amazing, but you'll just be like, you'll have a quiet knowing inside yourself. You're like, okay,
well,
let's go.
It's like trying a suit on,
yeah,
and seeing how it fits, because one of the good reasons to do this is, you know where I'm going with this, is you might drive the Aston Martin and then say, oh, this isn't for me.
Yes.
And I can let go of that need to have it, because actually it wasn't, I mean, it actually would be great, but like you can say it wasn't so great.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go and do it and then it changes. We often idolize some of our goals.
For sure.
And then you go, actually, no, I don't need that. So you can exercise them.
Exactly. I think that is really important as well, because it's also like, as well, a lot of people, sometimes if you feel like you are someone that you have a dream and you want to sort of like, oh, maybe I want to go and do this, or maybe I want to be a surfer chick, maybe I want to go and be like live in a forest by myself, maybe I want to be high flying corporate in the city. Like, the best way to sort of like eliminate and sort of narrow down where you are heading is, as you said, to try these things, and then you can be like, maybe not, okay. And the quicker you move through that process, the less you'll find yourself in that situation of, is it for me? Is it not for me? And that takes up a lot of brain power that you could actually be using to move towards your dream.
And and you might not, you're not going to answer the question without getting evidence. So maybe we talk about that for a second, because we know a lot of people listen thinking about their careers.
Mm-hmm.
The examples of this for me in careers would be, go to conferences where the speakers are people whose careers you aspire to. So you're kind of around those intelligent people. Ask them questions. Often you can network with these people afterwards, or ask them questions while they're on stage. Put yourself in meetings with more senior people at work if you can. Join committees or employee initiatives, so you can just get yourself in the room with those aspirational people. And then, interestingly, once you get closer to them, sometimes you might go, oh, actually, I don't think I want to get to that level.
Yeah.
These are then people you can also approach for sponsorship advice, like sponsorship or advice.
Yes.
And you can ask them, it's amazing how many of my clients, I suggest they approach senior people in their businesses who they say will never speak to them, and that person makes time for them. And they ask them, how did you get here? And these people, especially towards the end of their career, they love sharing that advice, that legacy. So get yourself in the room, get yourself in those conversations. If you're thinking about applying for a job, the days of being able to do tons of work experience aren't really out there. But can you take someone for coffee who does that job and get them to really explain to you what that involves, what that experience is like, and pay attention to how you're feeling even having that conversation with them. When you're hearing them describe it, you're trying the suit on, does it feel really good?
Yes.
And you're like, wow, I'd love to do that. Or actually, I've done that in my career sometimes, where I thought I wanted something, and then I went and spoke to someone about the job, and as they described it, I promise you, I got a sinking feeling.
Really? Wow.
And I was like, wow, I thought I wanted this job, and I can tell, I'm listening to this feeling. My body is telling me this is not for me.
It's a hard no.
But it's going and putting yourself into those experiences, into those conversations, trying those things out. Then it actually helps you adjust the goal, adjust the vision. And it's really interesting when I think, my early aspirations and visions in my career, a lot of them were financial or buying a house, or so you achieve those. Then you need new goals.
Yes.
And actually, sometimes there's a goal out there that's going to be amazing for you that you don't even know exists.
Exactly.
And it's until you go out and, I guess what I'm saying is also leave some space for serendipity. Go out and have lots of different experiences, sometimes that you might not think you like, because that might give you new inspiration for your next goal.
Exactly. And don't be like you said about, it's a really good point, and it reminded me of a brilliant book. You saying about approaching people that you think won't even give you the time of day. Yes, we are in a world where you can access people a lot quicker with social media, but I would just mention there's an amazing book called The Third Door by Alex Banayan. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so Alex Banayan decided he wanted to write a book about like the key people, like prominent people in the world. And when I say prominent people, I'm talking Warren Buffett, Bill
Wow.
Gates, Bill Clinton, all these people
Yes.
that were like really hard to access. And his book is called The Third Door, about the approaches he took to get some time in front of these people.
He got access to these people.
Yes,
it's incredible.
it is. Honestly, it's one of my favourite books. It's just so the creative ways that, because it's like people will try like door 1, door 2.
Is this how you're going to get on a podcast with Tom Ford?
I mean, I haven't really. I'm hoping that serendipity and fate will play more of a role on that.
No,
but
take some action. But then maybe that's also for people listening.
Yeah.
If there's people you want access to, just start by writing the list.
Yes.
Just write it down.
Yes.
And think about that. Before we wrap up, I want to actually bring a counter argument to all of this. Because one of the risks is that you can be constantly chasing goals, thinking, when I get here, I'll be happy. When I get the car, when I get the job, when I get the bigger house, when I get the new relationship. And we're delaying our absolute joy and enjoyment of life. So I'm all, as you know, I'm all for goal setting, all for living the, touching the dream. I'm someone who does that kind of thing. But then I think to counterbalance it, a very, very good practice, ideally once a week, but if not once a month, is to have an entire day in gratitude.
Yes.
And a day in gratitude is where everything that is happening, you are grateful for exactly as it is, with no changes.
Yes.
So that looks like you get up in the morning, your alarm goes off, which might annoy you, and you wake up and you think, I'm really grateful to be in this room. And you have your cup of coffee and you think, I'm really grateful for this cup of coffee. And you have your commute, and you might normally hate your commute, but you think, I'm so lucky I live in a city that has an operating tube system unless there's a strike.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm really grateful for all these people on the tube, or I'm just grateful to be alive. And you get to work and you're in your head, you don't have to tell everyone you love them, but you're like grateful for your boss and you're grateful for the work you do. And even if it's things you're not normally grateful for, that's even better. Try and find an aspect of that thing to be grateful for. And that's where we can then have aspiration coming from a place of appreciation.
Yes.
And actually, I think that's where true contentment and satisfaction exists, in that tension between both being fully appreciative of, and you and I are so unbelievably lucky to have the lives that we have. And I think, to be honest, a lot of people in this country are unbelievably lucky, just even to have been born into this country, and to be grateful for all of that. And then say, I'm really thankful for all of this. And wouldn't it be nice if I also had this and this, instead of I will be happy when.
Exactly. And that's I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, and she was like, I'm so grateful when a day is like mundane. And what she means by that is, it's like you get up and you have a commute and there's no drama on it. The kids are all safe. You go to the food shop, and it's recognizing that just things ticking through the mundane, by getting to the end of the day, you are so lucky to have had that nothing went wrong experience, And I'm not saying we have to live in that place where we're worried about things that can go wrong, but when I do client sessions, the first thing we talk about is what's been good. And it's like, just even because it's just recognizing the good things in the everyday, it provides you with a lovely brain boost of serotonin, and it helps your brain chemicals and puts you in a great place to think forward. But also, it's like, yes, like you say, recognizing the good things that are happening. I will get into bed at night and I will have my 10 fingers and I do my 10 good things that I'm grateful for, because it's a nice little way.
I'm a writer, so every day, I love that. We never discuss this.
No.
Every night I write down the 10 things I'm grateful for.
I love
that
that.
day.
And I'll get in bed as a lazy bitch that's tired and just be like, okay, so counting on my fingers, but and then it's a lovely way.
It's such a good practice. And I do think, we talk sometimes about social media, I do think there's a danger where people are dissatisfied with life purely because they're seeing 100%. Complete fantasies on social media that don't really exist, and thinking, I should be happy when every weekend is a trip to Dubai and VIP access at the Formula One and all this stuff.
And mate, if that was really your life, that would become mundane and you would be bored.
Yes. Yeah.
And you find it's probably not a very fulfilling existence.
So we'll leave you with that point. We hope you found that really interesting. Do go and have your dream day, though. Have a daycation. You all deserve it.
And please, can you let us know? Because this is like, as Vin Diesel says in Triple X, I live for this shit. So can you... Great reference. Can you please let me know what you did to touch your dream, and I will fully hype queen you back. So yes, and please share this with anyone that also deserves to touch their dream.